Guys, can you hear me? My voice is clear.
Hello.
Om Shanti. So let's start the session. Come into the sitting posture. Keep your back neck straight, aligned. Gently close your eyes. Go into your asana in your posture. Now, very slowly move your attention towards the natural pure breath, which is going in and coming out. Just observe the natural pure breath. Now, take a deep, prolonged, slow inhalation, deep, prolonged, slow exhalation. Inhale and exhale with awareness. Now, inhale for the 3-time Om. Take a deep breath for the Om. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Feel the vibration and sensation. Join your both palms. Rub your palms. Place on your eyes. Very slowly while blinking, looking at your palm, gently open up your eyes and greet each other saying Shanti. So welcome to the Ayurveda class. So in previous session, we discussed about the meaning of the Ayurveda, and then we talked about the three dosha, right? So three dosha, how it's prevalent outside and the inside. Then we talked about how your age is also divided into the categories of the three dosha, how the climate, and then how each and everything, the outside environment having the vata and pitta and kapha, same your body having the vata and pitta and kapha, right? So diseases are formed because of the imbalance of the three dosha. Okay. Swami Vagbharji explained in the Ashtanga Hridayam that all the diseases which is are forming and either it is a psychosomatic, psychological, physiological problems. It's because of imbalance in the three dosha. Okay, so three dosha, vata, pitta, and kapha. These, if we bring into the balance form, it means all the problem would be sorted out, right? So imbalance called vikrit and balance called avikrit. We discussed these things already. So vikrit and avikrit. Now, and understand whenever we are providing the treatment, understand like somebody is having certain kind of problem, right? And they have the imbalance of the vat, for example. Now, a person who is having the imbalance of the vat, and maybe he born with the vata prakriti, and outside climate is the vat, like autumn and autumn season is going on, right? And he is in the age of the vat, like old age. It means the vat would be very difficult to control. So that's why whenever you go to the Ayurvedic doctor, he understand that what kind of climate it is and which climate they are living, what kind of even occupation they are into it. They are having the sitting job or they are active job, and climate and which age they are. So it means if you have the Vata Prakriti and you are in the Vat age, so it means your problem is more aggravate than the Kapha and the Pitta. Pitta people also get the problems of the Vat, but the Vat people already they have this, it's very easy. They can get very quickly. They are more prone towards catching the Vat kind of problem. Okay, so climate factor, then your surrounding, then your age, which age you are in, it's all we're gonna count. So same with the kapha, like a child has more prone towards getting the cold, flu, cough, these kind of problem because he is in the vat age. Oh, sorry, kapha age. So kapha age, so kapha kind of problems he's catching more. And during the winter is a kapha, cold. During the cold, they get more problems of the kapha. So that's how the climate and the surrounding play important role. So even in the treatment, we try to bring the change in the climate. That's why even the modern doctor are talking about take them into the hillside or mountainside so they can have the good breathing, right? Climate play very important role in the healing terms. Whenever we are healing somebody or providing the cure or any kind of therapeutic treatment to them. So we're trying to change their environment. So it's gonna help you. So these factor is also important. Okay. Day and night also. Like if you observe the environment during the evening time, comparative to the rest of the day, during the evening time, there is a lots of movement in the environment. Wind is moving a lot because that is the Vata time. That's why cleansing practice. Have you heard about Shatkarma? Have you heard about Shatkarma? Yeah, cleansing practice where you're cleaning yourself, like purging, like vomiting, or enema you are doing. In Ayurveda, we have the Panchkarma therapy, right? So other things, whatever you are doing, Jalniti Kriya, these many things, Shatkarma, cleansing yourself. So cleansing yourself during which time is best? Before sunrise, kapha time, because that is the time. So morning, early morning, you feel mucus around here. Everybody feel mucus because outside is the kapha time. So everybody get the mucus. So, but if you have the kapha problems, you feel more kapha, more mucus, more blockage in your nostril. So that is the best time to clean your body. To go for the nostril cleaning, which we did with the Jalniti Kriya or Sutra Niti Kriya we practice. So all the cleansing practice should be done empty stomach and before sunrise because that is the time of the kapha. So kapha would be removed from the body easily. Okay, so that's how we provide the treatment according to we observe the day and night, which prakriti you are, and then accordingly we provide the treatment. So that's how vata, pitta, and kapha, which is prevalent outside and inside, gonna affect. They are linked. During the summer, everybody's feeling the hot, right? Everybody get the heat. But if you are born with the pitta personality, so pitta people get more, they're gonna feel more heat comparative to the kapha and the vata. They also gonna feel the heat, but pitta gonna feel more heat. That is the difference. So we tell them, okay, in order to calm down the pitta in their body, you have to change the environment. So if they are living into the especially the cold environment, the pitta basically under their control. It's easy to provide the treatment for them because climate factor playing the important role, the healing procedure and bringing the balance of the three dosha. This much is clear to everyone. How in the treatment we're gonna count the other factor, the age and the climate factor. So now onward we're gonna talk about the other factors. Swami Vagbharji explained imbalance of the three dosha. So everything is linked, right? Ayurveda strictly believe that uh, in allopathic everything is divided. If you have the eyesight, weakened, you go to the optical shops to check your eyes, right? If you have the heart related issues, you go to the cardiologist. If you have the any reproductive or you know your vaginal problems, you go to the gynae. So basically they divide your body parts. But Ayurveda talks about everything is linked. They are not you're gonna divide your body. So even my mom get the COVID situation. I'm giving you the one example. My mom, affected by the COVID, and she's taking the treatment of the lungs, but she get the problem in her bladder also. She has the stone in the bladder and lungs, and then because lungs is affected, her lungs is affected. She got the problem in her heart also. So now she is visiting to the four doctor, one for the heart, one for the lungs, and one for the blood, kidney stone problems. So can you imagine? Another doctor doesn't talk about the other kind of problem at all. So they actually divide your body parts. But yes, if your lungs is affected, automatically your heart gonna affected by that because the situation heart is connected with the lungs. Your respiratory system is connected with your heart. Yes or no? But allopathic divide you in the different, everything is divided. Another example, if you get the diabetic, slowly and gradually, whole your body organs would be affected by because you cannot digest the sugar in your body. Just because you cannot digest, your pancreatic system is not working properly, the pancreas is not working properly. Because of that, your kidney, your lungs, your heart, your even eyesight, your other senses gonna affect by that. But modern, medicine doesn't understand this link. So very much important that Ayurveda talks about the holistic link. Like if three dosha is imbalanced, so next is Agni. I'll write it down for you. These are the Agnis which gonna affect because of the three dosha. So what are these? Agni. Okay. So Jathar Agni we are gonna talk about. Jathar Agni and types of the Jathar Agni. Visham, Agni, Tishna, Agni, Manda, Agni, fourth, Sam, Agni. We are going to talk about the types of the Jatharagni. Just write it down and let me know if you write it down. Done?
Yeah, I think we're done.
Okay. So Agni is what? Agni is the fire. In your body, there's a different types, mostly 13 types of the Agni, which is functioning from top to the bottom. Okay. So Agni basically metabolic rate, maintaining the temperature of your body, and digestion, assimilation of the food, absorbing the nutrition. These are the function of the Agni. Now we're going to talk about the very much important part, the types of the Agni, that is a Jatharagni. So this is Jatharagni is a 13 type. Okay, this is the 13th type of the Agni. So there is a other Agni also, 12 Agni, other rest of the 12 Agni also, but we're not going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the 13th one. 13th one is what? Jatharagni. Pronunciation Ja Thar. Okay. Also write it down in your pronunciation, in your phonetics, how you're gonna pronounce Ja Tha Thar Jathar. Okay, Jathar Agni. Agni means fire. Literal meaning of Agni is fire. Okay, but understand we are talking about the function of the Agni. So function, whenever something we want to absorb, something when we want to cook, we use the fire. So in your body there is a fire which is functioning, which basically absorbing the nutrition in the body, and maintaining your metabolic rate, then maintaining the temperature of your body. That is major function of that. These are the function, but these are the major function. Now there is a type of the Jatharagni. The Jatharagni means what? Now come to the Jatharagni. Jatharagni meaning is digestive fire. So gastrointestinal juice, you can understand. In science, there's no literal meaning is available of the Jatharagni, but it is more closer to that. Gastrointestinal juices, you can take as I'm just giving you the example. There's other level of the Agni also, which do further work. Jathar Agni have the many, function, but you can understand like enzymes which are basically breaking, or juices which are absorbing the nutrition and the breaking the food into the small particles. Okay, so that is the Jathar Agni, digestive fire. Another word is digestive fire. Now, one is Visham Agni. Okay, also work on your pronunciation. Visham, Visham, Visham Agni. Okay, Visham Agni. So Visham Agni is a type of the Jathar Agni. Visham Agni. Visham means unfluctuated, unstable. Okay, unstable, unfluctuated. Fluctuating one. Sorry, not unfluctuated, fluctuating one. Or an unstable. Then Tishna Agni. Tishna Agni means high. Tishna means high, high fire. Visham means unstable fire. Tishna means high fire. Tishna. Pronunciation T, 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 Ta is not T, is Ta. Tishna. Tishna Agni. Tishna Agni is high fire. Mand. Mand. Ma, na, the. Mand Agni. Mand Agni means slow fire. SLOW, slow. Slow. Slow fire. So some Agni I'll explain you later on. So these are the three: Visham Agni, Tishna Agni, and Mand Agni. Visham Agni is basically dominate. Yeah, slow. SLOW, slow. Slow Agni, fire. Okay. So Visham Agni dominant in the Vata personality. When you have the Vata imbalance in your body, or you born with the Vata personality, you have Visham Agni. It means unfluctuated. It means fluctuated one, unstable Agni. Like sometimes you are hungry, sometimes you don't feel hunger at all. You're not hungry at all. So like today, maybe morning time, you are very like, I want to have the meal or something. You have the great appetite, but till the evening you lose the appetite. Unstable Agni. Sometimes you feel hungry, sometimes you won't. So Visham Agni. Tishna Agni always remain high. Always remain high appetite. It is especially dominant in the Pitta personality. So when Pitta is dominant in you, then you have the Tishna Agni. Okay, so Pitta personality usually have the Tishna Agni. It means always hungry. They always eat. After, within a 2 hour, they want to eat something. But it's not good, no? People are thinking, wow, what a metabolic rate they are having it. They eat lot and see, no, it's not good, no? Why? Because eating, consuming too much is not good. Nobody like even nature doesn't like, even you don't gonna like the people who are eating too much. They, when uh, you get the, guest at your home, right? And they start eating everything of like whatever is available in your fridge, and they finish everything. What you're gonna see, you don't gonna like them, and they do nothing, and they consume lot. right? You just say, okay, these people are, eating so much. They finish everything at my home. So nobody likes those people who just keep eating. And even nature doesn't support these things because basically everything is coming from the nature. Even you don't like your bike or car who is taking so much fuel, consuming lots of fuel, and mileage is very less. Everybody like less consumption and more productive. Same with the human beings. You like those people who eat less around you, those who eat less and work more. Otherwise, you can keep providing the food to them and they're just gonna eat it. So Tishna Agni, their metabolic rate is high, but whole time they are eating. It's extreme. It isn't good. It is not good that you have high metabolic rate. In modern times, people are, talking about, I've met many people who are, working on their metabolic rate, that they are increasing it, but it is not good. High appetite is not good at all because we have the minimum sources and nobody gonna love you guys if you're eating too much until unless you're not paying for that. Maybe restaurant and those gonna love you where you're spending much amount. But if you go somewhere, some places, and you start eating everything and finish everything, people start commenting on you. So Tishna Agni, very high. And so it's not good also. Mand Agni, Mand means slow. Mand means completely slow. SLOW, slow. Mand Agni, very slow Agni. They eat, but very easily they get fill like they eat lot, no doubt, but their digestion is very slow, very slow. So it's like if I'll give you the example, like this, you're lighting the fire, you are using the woods and you're lighting like bonfire when you do, right? In bonfire, in Visham type of Agni, what happened? There's a wood, there's a light, Agni, but sometimes it's unlighted, like its fire is high. Sometimes there's no fire. Fire gonna perish. So what happened? Sometimes it gonna burn the wood, sometimes it's not. It even annoying, right? You are sitting for the bonfire and then you're not able to enjoy because sometimes there's a fire, sometimes there's no fire. So you're not able to enjoy the bonfire at all. In Tishna Agni, fire is so high. You cannot sit around that fire. Too much heat. Everything gonna burn quickly. And you keep putting the wood because fire is so high, it's gonna quickly burn all the wood. And you are doing much hard work to providing the wood. Keep so it's increase your work. You're not gonna enjoy the bonfire either. Can you enjoy? Because whole time you are just providing the wood to the fire. So Tirishna is also not good. Mandagni. Now in Mandagni, fire is very low, not able to burn the wood. Chunk of the wood you cannot able to burn it. Now neither you cannot enjoy the Mandagni. The slow fire cannot give you the bonfire effect. So all these three types of the Agni, not a single Agni you're gonna enjoy if we compare to the bonfire. Now some Agni, the perfect Agni, the balanced Agni, which provide you the heat and remain for the longer time, So you are able to enjoy the bonfire, right? Balance Agni. Sam means balance Agni. Sam means balance. And this dominant when three dosha is balanced. So this is basically, if I write it down, this Agni is the Avikrit. Remember, we use Avikrit. Balanced. When three dosha is balanced, you are having Avikrit state, then you have some Agni in your body. Now this is a perfect bonfire where you can sit. Accurate amount of the wood is given to the fire. Fire is proper, and now you can enjoy the weather. So Avikrit state having the some Agni. So Agni, four types. Jathar Agni, four types. Visham Agni, Tishna Agni, Mand Agni, Sam Agni. Okay, so any doubt till here in the Agni part? Any queries? Okay, lovely. So now this Agni, the Agni which we talked about it. So if your three dosha is imbalance, your Agni Guna imbalance. Okay, your another example, whenever you get fever, have you observed yourself? Whenever you get the cold and the fever, you lose your appetite. You lose your appetite, but people start feeding you, okay, take this thing, that thing, that might you're gonna die or something. No, you can go for the fasting. Body is automatically healing yourself. You don't require food during that time, because that time the healing process is going on. That's why you lose the appetite whenever you get the infection. And if you observe the animals, they don't. If you have the pet at your home, you can see nobody is telling them what to eat, right? Dogs and cats and other animals doesn't know. They don't have the doctor, they go to the doctor and taking the medicine or certain kind of things. But it is the, they are following the law of the nature. Who told them? Nobody. But they understand their body. So when they lose the appetite, whenever they sick, they stop eating and drinking. And I observe at my home, even not in the dog and cat, even birds. I used to have the young, the birds, a different kind of bird. We just given the shelter for few months. So whenever she got sick or some injuries happened to her, she stopped eating and drinking. And we start feeding, we are forcing to feed her, but she stopped taking it. And so cute, it's tiny like that. It's very small. And I was very surprised how, deeper understanding these tiny creature they are having it. How deeper understanding their biologically, they understand their biological sign. So one day she broke her leg because roaming around here and there. She broke her leg, and when she reached to the home, like come back to the home, and we are telling her, okay, eat, 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 so it might gonna heal her, but she stopped, and she's not even forcing her leg. Not like if you see the dogs and cats, they make their leg like this, not giving any pressure, so their leg would be cured automatically. But we human disconnected ourselves. Ayurveda is the connection. And why you required me and Ayurvedic doctor and yoga therapist? You don't require it. Just pay attention to the signal of your body. 80% Ayurveda said, and Swami Vagbharji said, 85 and more than 85 problems, percentage of the problems and the disease would be cured if you just listen your body. That's it. Just listen. It gives you signal. So you don't require to take the advice of the doctor, because doctor treatment is based on the symptoms which is you gonna tell to them. You know, doctor asks you how's your appetite, how's your pee, how's your poo. They, even modern doctors gonna observe your symptoms, your eyes, your tongue. So they observe your symptoms, and you are also, and you are within your body, right? You are more capable than observing. You can more capable to listen than the outside doctor. So this treatment, even a yoga therapy and the Ayurveda, is basically finding the link again to ourselves. That's why Ayurveda talks about three dosha. Three dosha is imbalance. Agni automatically gonna imbalance. If Agni is a balance, your three dosha is balance. So this is all about the Agni. Okay, and any doubts here which you don't understand? Any questions? Question answer time. All is clear. Okay, lovely. So I hope you understand this three dosha and Agni, and you can do more research over that thing. Okay. So tomorrow's session we're gonna talk about that how the Agni is linked with the Ama, and we're gonna understand the malas, three malas, Ama, three malas, and we talked about the Saptadhatu. These things we're gonna cover. So let's end the class with the three times Om and Shanti. Coming to the sitting posture, keep your back neck straight, aligned. Relax your body. Go into your asana. Take a deep, prolonged, slow inhalation from the belly. Deep, prolonged, slow exhalation from the belly. Now inhale for the three time Om. Take a deep breath. Om. 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 Shanti. 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 Feel the vibration and sensation. Join your both palm. Rub your palm. Place on your eyes. Very slowly while blinking, looking at your palm. Gently open up your eyes with a deep smile and say Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Meet you at the meditation class. Bless you guys.